lounging, son.
Welcome back to the Comic Lounge. My name is Ryan, and today I'm going to be going through some really dope Marvel Treasury editions. I got the 1974 and the 1975 giant superhero holiday grab bags. Really, really great covers. Let me switch that. Some really dope covers. One of them's shorter than the other, which is kind of weird that within a year they decided to go a little smaller. But these are fantastic. I won't get super into each story. I just kind of wanted to show them off. Gives me a chance to also get another whiff of that newsprint, which I said so many times how much I love. But before I get into it, just want to remind everybody to, hit that subscribe button. Hit that subscribe button and check out, other videos on the channel. We got interviews, indie creator spotlights, other overhead reviews. We have a bunch of dope playlists. Got a holiday playlist, which is where this will be. But we appreciate all your support, your comments, feedback, and so hit that subscribe button, bell icon, so you're notified every time a new vid drops. On that note, let's get back into this. Let's check these out. So I'm going to flip to the back first. In the 1974 one, we have Amazing Adventures, The Inhumans and Black Widow, which is issue 5. You got Marvel Team Up, issue 1 with Spider-Man, Human Torch. Got Fantastic Four, issue 25 and 26, and Daredevil number 7. So not all of these are necessarily holiday issues, holiday themed issues. But the first one is Have Yourself a Sandman Little Christmas, and that is Roy Thomas and Ross Andru. Then the other stories will be, fun little story with Spidey and Human Torch, especially in this oversized format. Obviously, you can see these are not what you would say near mint. I wouldn't call these near mint. You can tell that the pages are definitely yellowed, but they're going after Sandman, which I don't ever remember him in this outfit, but I thought that was interesting. And so, as Spidey comes to try to help stop him, it's Christmas Eve, and Spidey can think of a lot of other people he'd rather be with on Christmas Eve. And then Sandman even is taken aback at it, and he's like, I got no time to mess with you. So he makes his escape, and Spidey goes to somebody else because he's got to get to Gwen, and he doesn't want to deal with him, so he goes to Human Torch, and Torch is like, I'm not going to help. He's all bummed because he's got girl problems, and he's like, that's your guy, why are you bothering me and asking me to deal with it? So, got an impromptu team up as they fly around New York in the Fantastic Car. So doing a little superheroing on Christmas Eve, but we are going to get back to Sandman soon. But first, Human Torch is able to save this runaway truck that's sliding on the ice, and he uses his powers to help stop that in its tracks. Finally, they find Sandman. It's a great little fight scene between them. I love the back and forth between Torch and Spidey. It's hilarious. I've always loved their friendship at that time. Sandman kicks them into the river, but they're able to get out. And they find Sandman, and where is he? He goes to his mom's. He's just going to say hi to his mom on Christmas Eve. She doesn't know about his alter ego, so she's just like, I always come around to see her on Christmas Eve no matter what. And what does Spidey do? He gives him the gift from Gwen and says, here, you give this to her. So just a nice little thing that he did for her, for his, one of his villains. I thought that was pretty cool. And then they go on their separate ways. Get this cool Daredevil Submariner story by Stanley and Wally Wood. This is a classic. This is where Daredevil first gets his red costume. So cool little Submariner story. I love Wally Wood too. He really redefined the look of this book. And I wish he would have had more time. There's a whole drama with this one. But really, really great stories by Wally. And who doesn't love a good Submariner story? And crazy to think that, he came out of this book and then changed the costume, and this costume has been the one that Daredevil has been known for, not the yellow costume as much, but Very cool. Plus, you don't really see these two characters go against each other, so I mean, it's definitely a weird one. But get this Black Widow story by Roy Thomas and Gene Colan. This art is breathtaking. So of course she gets roped into something on Christmas Eve. So cool little story with Black Widow. Love this. Gene Colan's art is just next level on here. So good. And this one ends in a horrible way. Definitely not a heartwarming story by any stretch of the imagination. I won't get into it, but these next stories, fantastic. Stan Lee, Jack Kirby, Hulk versus the Thing. Need I say more? No. This is really awesome. Again, like these aren't very Christmassy stories, all of them, but they're great. They're just really cool to see them presented in this way, and definitely cool to see them in newsprint for me, who I've never seen them in this format before. I love this too. Avengers Return to U.S. Seek Hulk here after epic battle overseas. So call out to another storyline. Get the Avengers in here. And again, very different Hulk. Talking about wanting to destroy the Avengers. Get some really cool scenes with Hulk fighting Fantastic Four. It's just such great Jack Kirby art. Love this. Takes out all the Avengers. They can't do shit to him. So, great two-parter in here. Love this. Definitely early in, the Marvel Universe. Like I said, issues 25 and 26. Such a great part. Love this. They both punch different parts of the steel girder. Which is interesting here. It says, not seen in comic book format since 66. FF 24 through 25 were made two of the most sought after issues in the Marvel Age of Comics, but these are issues 25 and 26, so I probably a typo, but very cool. And now we'll get into these stories, and these ones have issue 180 of Doctor Strange, Marvel Tales number 19, Luke Cage number 7, Hulk 147, and Nick Fury number 10. So this one is Twas the Night Before Christmas. This is the Nick Fury story with Gary Friedrich and Frank Springer and Johnny Craig on this one. And we get Nick Fury stopping what he thinks is a mugging, only he's underestimating this woman because she pulls the gun and tries to shoot these people that are doing it. He knocks the dude out. He goes home. Christmas Eve, Laura, I'm assuming one of his girlfriends who he thinks is Val, is there, and she's kind of taken aback, but he smooth talks her, and she's gonna stay for the night. Throws on Sinatra Christmas album. Great choice. Love seeing this Miles Davis record too. And so they're enjoying their Christmas Eve, and he gets a call from his bedroom, which is, one of his high-tech computers, high-tech phones, and he's called on a mission, and he tells her to make herself comfortable. And if Sean Connery don't call for you while I'm gone, I'll be right back. So he gets into his flying car, and he goes to the helicarrier. I love this shot of the helicarrier. Super dope. And so he goes on a mission, and it's not an easy one, going into space, and he fights off who I believe is Hate Monger. Just some great scenes here. And Nick Fury, we think he's going to be trapped, but he's not. He's going to make his way out of it. He will be successful in his mission, and he makes it back home and wakes her up. She falls asleep, wakes her up, and just in time for Christmas Day. And we get a Stan Lee Steve Ditko joint. Spider-Man goes mad. We get this psychiatrist who's writing about Spidey in the newspaper, talking about how he must be crazy, and then Spider-Man's like, man, maybe I am. And they write this whole expose in the Daily Bugle, and almost like he's a ladies' man, because like Liz Allen's kind of into him, Betty Brant's into him. And then we get this European psychiatrist who's now gonna make the world think Spidey's crazy. Spidey starts seeing stuff, right? He starts seeing Doc Ock, but he's not really there. He sees Sandman, but he's not there, so he thinks he's losing his mind. Sees Vulture. Then he eventually goes to the psychiatrist because he thinks he's losing his shit. And the psychiatrist, sits him down. He's gonna try to treat him. Like, we're gonna begin your therapy. And then we realize that he's not who we think he is. And J. Jonah Jameson finds out that he's a fraud, and then we find out that it's none other than Mysterio. So, cool little story there. I love this. We got Jingle Bombs. We got George Tuska. We got Steve Englehart, George Tuska, and Billy Graham on this one. Again, another cool little Christmas Eve story where Luke Cage keeps defeating, thug after thug. Get some great dialogue in here with cats like bad peanut brittle, all nuts. But he's on a date with his chick, and they're walking through. This cop comes again, a no sparking zone. If you're old enough to get that joke, and then he wishes them Merry Christmas. We get Luke Cage giving this homeless guy some money, but then he pulls a gun out, takes this dude down. Then we get another guy jumping out of the woodworks. I don't know who this dude is. Again, trying to mug him. And Cage takes him out as well. I love this scene too. The way they just fight in the silhouette. Really awesome. The lettering on these sound effects is really, really dope too. So, takes him, hands him to the cops. And then he's captured by this guy who I have no idea who this one is either. But seeing that he's been planning this whole time, where he was sending goon after him and tricking him into getting trapped, but can't take Cage down. He is triumphant as always, and it talks about how it's been a hard year for Luke Cage and for the world. Both have survived, and Cage has even gotten a little more together maybe, but the world hasn't changed a bit. Roy Thomas Herb Trimpe Hulk story, which is super fun, where he sees this town and it ends up being a mirage, but it's this perfect town. Everybody likes him. Nobody's against him. They all accept him. And maybe he's finally found the perfect place to be. Because he's lonely and he's always having to go away from everybody. But then she fades away. And then everybody starts fading away and the whole city does. And you just see Hulk in pain come back. He's yelling. And he starts lashing out. And now they see the seismograph. You think there's an earthquake coming, but it's nothing. And then we got a Roy Thomas, Gene Colan, Doctor Strange story. And it's December, New Year's Eve, when most would be jostled in a Times Square crowd awaiting 76. Doctor Strange instead stands alone on a wondrous windswept world, stranded in his new awesome, faceless incarnation, alone, but for the sound of his own voice shouting. This is incredible. I love this Gene Colan stuff. Again, another Gene Colan story. Definitely don't talk about him enough on the channel, but I'm going to fix that soon. So, really cool Doctor Strange story of him going against Nightmare. He wakes up from a bad dream. There's Clea, almost his wife. I'm not sure. I don't think they're dating. They're just dating at this point. So, cast a spell and they go for a walk on New Year's Eve, and she doesn't even know what snow is, and she's experiencing that for the first time. I love this panel. So good. And then we get this freaking insane scene right as New Year's Eve. We get this pterodactyl crashing into this clock. A dinosaur coming in. It's just where did this come from? And this is all the doing of Nightmare. And then we get Eternity coming back in the mix, held by blinding chains of pure cosmic force. Because he's helpless, Nightmare could unleash such monstrous anachronisms upon a helpless Earth. But Doctor Strange is about to defeat him. He accepts the challenge, and that's it, because there's going to be a second part, but Doctor Strange is letting us know that he was once again defeated, and in the name of the Eternal Ashanti, the whole blushing Marvel bullpen wishes you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. May the all-seeing eye of Agamotto ever light your way. So, awesome. giant superhero holiday grab bags by Marvel. These treasuries are great. I have a stack of other treasuries that I want to cover on the channel, so stay tuned for that. Make sure you like, follow, subscribe, hit that bell icon so you're notified every time a new vid drops. Check out that holiday playlist. Happy holidays.